Greetings, Leanne here from Stitch in Durango, Colorado. And today I am going to share with you a rotating cutting mat. If you are unfamiliar with these or haven't had one in the past, well, let's just say you're kind of missing out. This is a really handy tool to add to your toolbox. So here's what it is. It is a mat that spins or rotates, and I don't know if you can see this, but it turns. And the beauty of it turning is that it allows you to trim up a block without cutting at awkward angles. And I'll show you that in a minute. What I particularly like about this mat is that it's nicely engineered. It's stable on all sides, it doesn't wobble, and it turns really quite smoothly. There are other mats on the market that spin, and many of them have a center pivot point. And because of that, it's unstable on the edges, and that is not the case for this particular mat. So let me tell you what you would use it for. You would use a smaller 10-inch mat to trim right next to your sewing station so that you don't have to get up. You're gonna sew, you're gonna trim, you're gonna spin your mat around, trim some more, keep sewing, you're gonna be a happy camper. You never have to get up. You are gonna use this 16-inch mat or a larger mat to square up larger blocks. This mat will easily trim up a 10.5-inch block, which makes it really helpful and valuable for cutting blocks of all sizes. So in this instance, let me show you how it works. Instead of trimming up a block, I am going to fussy cut something to show you really why this is really helpful. I'm going to place these 3 fish in the middle of this square. It's a 6.5-inch square, and you can see they fit quite nicely. And from here, I am just gonna trim this up a little bit. So I'm gonna trim this, I'm gonna turn, trim again. And as you can see, it's eliminating the need for me to cut at these weird, awkward angles. So I'm spot on every time. And I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna trim again. And I'll give you one more tip if you notice. I don't ever start cutting from back here. I really start cutting from up here on the ruler. I try to bump my cutter blade right next to the ruler. I roll forward, back a second, and back up. And what this does is it eliminates, if I start back here, oftentimes I hit the edge of this ruler and I nick it. And I nick my blade, and it drives me bananas to do that. So instead, I start right up here, I bump up my ruler, right up against the ruler, back up, and move forward. So I'm gonna make one sort of final cut here. It looks like one more. And again, oh, yep, I did it. And now, as you can see right here, if you can see right here, that this block is perfectly square. I didn't have to cut at weird angles, so I didn't accidentally miss a little bit. I never had to lift my ruler up off of the fabric or off of the mat, and I never had to lift my fabric up off of the mat, which means perfect accuracy. This block is square and it's gonna come together nicely. So here you go, isn't that great? So if you don't have one of these, now's a great time to add one of them to your stocking. If you find these tutorials helpful, we'd appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you always know what's going on. And as always, thank you for watching.